All right, so I need to bring you up to speed on some things with the Jeep, because things were going really well until this morning. So here's what happened. I was actually on my way to take the Jeep to a mechanic so that I could get some things powder coated and installed. One of the things that we still have to do that I mentioned in one of the videos a while back was the dash frame mount. So it's like this metal bracket sort of thing that's behind the dash, and it's where the speakers mount. The very top of it that goes right underneath the cowl, which is where the front windshield folds forward in a Jeep, had rusted, and my plan was to replace that part and so that it didn't leak anymore and it wasn't rusted and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I got a new piece actually fabricated, and the next step was to get it powder coated and installed. And so that's what I was on my way to do. And at the same time, I was going to do some work to the rear bumper, where we're going to have to cut off that weird weld that the previous owner did and then put on a proper hitch bumper for the Jeep. So that was the plan. It was on its way, and then something happened while I was driving. Basically, all of a sudden, the Jeep kind of acted funny and ran out of gas. And as it turns out, it looks like I blew a fuel line or something. Anyway, I lost about a half a tank of fuel. I started off with a half a tank when I left the house, and about 10 minutes later, I had no fuel whatsoever left in the Jeep. So still waiting on a diagnosis for that to see what happened, but that's the issue. So what was supposed to be a go take the Jeep to get some cosmetic things fixed has now taken the Jeep to get some mechanical things fixed. Jeep life, right? I mean, that's what it is. So that said, there's some other things that I wanted to do for the Jeep anyway. After the last adventure we had where we went on the Jeep crawl and through the roots, I realized that one of the things my Jeep was kind of lacking was some solid recovery points. And there's the recovery hooks that are on the front, which are screen accurate for the Jurassic Park Jeeps, which is the whole overall plan for the Jeep. The problem is that those tow hook holes are very small. I guess in 1992 you didn't need big giant recovery options for that. So anyway, they drilled like a half-inch hole, and as it turns out, I haven't been able to find a single like D hook or anything like that that fits in there because it's just too small. So I had to use these really small ones as an emergency option. They don't look very good because they're small and they're dinky. So I was like, how can I mount some solid recovery points to the Jeep, make it look cool, but also not mess up the whole plan for the Jurassic Park Jeep? And I had an idea. So this is the original bumper that came on the Jeep. There really wasn't anything wrong with it, but it did have a slight bend in it because I'm sure the original owner hit something. Anyway, slight bend in it. I'd replaced that bumper almost immediately with a new, or I guess an OEM kind of styled bumper. But I still have this one, and what I'm going to do is cut it up, make it a short, sort of stubby bumper, and then I'm going to mount some recovery hooks to that. And when I mean recovery hooks, I mean giant recovery D-rings. These things are massive, and they'll bolt onto the front of the bumper here, I hope. It's like the clearance for this is like nothing. So like if this doesn't work, oh well, it was a bumper that was about to go to the scrap pile in the dump anyway. But anyway, I figured what'll happen is I'll put this bumper on if I ever do any like off-roading or something where I feel like I might need some major recovery points, and then leave the other bumper on when it's just its natural Jurassic Park Jeep state.
I just started off taking measurements and marking cut lines
to take the whole thing on and off, so should be pretty interesting to see if this experiment works, but I'm excited to see if I can mount these. So here we go.
I just started off by taking measurements and marking cut lines, and then I used a piece of tape so that I could see the lines really easily.
Also, I cannot stress enough how much this is not a tutorial. This is me figuring this out as I go, as a experiment, really. I've never done anything like this, so this could be interesting. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't do this at home. And also, if I'm doing this completely wrong, I don't need all the comments about, hey, you did it wrong. Just, be nice, be encouraging. This is probably a throwaway project. that went surprisingly well. Proud of myself. I got that cut off. I think it looks pretty good so far. I'm gonna have to clean up the edges a little bit, and then we'll install the, I guess the recovery hooks.
I started by doing a small pilot hole so that the larger drill bit wouldn't wobble around once I started using it, so I could keep my measurements as precise as possible.
The drill ran out of batteries. Note to self, before starting project, make sure to charge batteries. It's like doing guy stuff 101, and I failed miserably. All right, so hang on. All right. Sorry. Not a product placement at all. I'm not sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper, but if I were sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper, it would not change the fact that I drink way too much Diet Dr. Pepper. Cheers. All right, so let's talk a little bit while we wait for batteries to charge. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been subscribing and watching and commenting on the channel lately. It means the world to me. I have no idea why you're following me, but I'm grateful that you are. And anyway, so yeah, I guess I'm kind of curious though, because I do kind of variety of content here. A lot of it started with camera stuff because that is my day job. That is what I do. I do marketing. I do photography and video production. That's what my company does. And so I made a lot of videos based around camera gear, how to shoot stuff, things like that. And then it kind of turned into the sort of the vlog aspect of things. And now I'm, sharing a lot with that's going on with the Jeep and all that kind of stuff. So there's a variety of things here, and I'm stoked that you are here to be a part of it. But I'm curious, what brought you to the channel? Why did you subscribe? And what else would you like to see from this channel as we grow together? Because I'm so pumped to have you guys along for the ride. So leave that down in the comments, and I promise you I will respond to you. I respond to pretty much everybody who leaves me a comment as long as it's nice. Also, I can't tell you how excited I am that it's finally getting into fall. Fall is my absolute favorite time of the year. It's not so hot as a fat kid. Summer's tough, right? Like we have a little extra insulation. It's not everywhere we go we sweat. I got a bald head, so this just drips. Like it's not even funny. Like I don't have hair to soak it up. It's just like a waterfall right off the top of my forehead. Anyway, but fall's when everything starts to get cool. It's like 60-something degrees, 68 maybe degrees right now. It's perfect. I'm out here doing a project. I'm not sweating. Feels so good. Now, part of that too is because we've had a lot of storms. Timeline-wise, Hurricane Sally just ran through Alabama, West Florida, leaving a lot of damage and stuff. So prayers to everybody who's been impacted by hurricanes recently. But this cooler weather, I'm super excited about. Halloween is my favorite time of year. So in about a month, we'll get Halloween stuff. You're going to have to be prepared for that on this channel too. We're going to do some Halloween stuff. I'm a dork. If you go back, I've got a Christmas village. I've also started a Halloween village because why not, right? Still waiting on the batteries to charge. You want to drill metal? You got to have power. It's go time. One down, 7 to go. I've got my 4 holes drilled, and I'm going to do a quick test fitting to make sure it all works before I waste my time with the other side. Okay, that is perfect. That absolutely perfect. I'm so excited. Everything's gonna fit just right. So off to do the other side now. Everything is installed and it's great. The only issue I had is somehow I miscounted or I lost or I dropped, I don't know, but I'm missing one washer. So I'm gonna have to go back and pick up a new washer. By the way, those are all grade A bolts, so they should be perfect for this. So the next step now is I'm just gonna paint the whole bumper so that those spots that I just drilled don't rust. So we're gonna paint everything actually with an undercoating, so it's a little extra, you know, for off-roading. That's a technical phrase. It's a Jeep thing. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna take it apart, paint it, and then we'll reinstall it. And then whenever I get Sue back, Sue's the Jeep, by the way, if you're new to the channel. Whenever I get Sue back from whatever the issue is she has now, we'll put it all on and I'll show you what that looks like. So after the first coat of paint dried, I went ahead and I mounted the hardware on it, mounted the brackets and tightened them all down. And then I gave the whole thing another coating just so that the bolts and everything would match and be black as well so they wouldn't stand out, just to give it a really clean, finished look.
If you're really observant, you'll notice that I made a mistake here and I accidentally mounted one of the brackets upside down, and I didn't realize it until all the paint was dry and I was going to mount the D-ring. So I had to take it apart, do it again, repaint it. Oh, Jeep life.
So Sue is back and I am so happy. She runs like a dream. Everything is good. And so now let's put on the bumper, see how it looks.
While I'm showing you this, I guess I should also tell you that the official reason that Sue was in the shop was because of the fuel line, so I was right. She got all her fuel lines replaced, and she's good as new.
The bumper went on. The only little hiccup was that it was a tight fit on one side, so I had to kind of bang it in there, but no big deal there. I think it looks awesome. Check it out. All right, the bumper is on. I think it looks awesome. I'm super excited about it. It was not a hard project. It was just cutting and drilling and bolting. So even someone like me was able to accomplish this fairly easily. But I'm super proud of it. I think it looks awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna head out now to my first Columbia Jeep meet. We're gonna take Sue and see how that goes. So anyway, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel a lot. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I will see you next time.